Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You are currently listening to A Chance to Strive, and I'm your host, Chance. And guess what? We brought somebody back for you. I'm just.
I heard y'all love me. I'm back, baby. It's me, that girl Luli Hunty. If you guys don't know who I am, you can follow me on all social media platforms. That girl Luli. For those of you that are now seeing me for the first time, I am your go-to for everything, baby. Light, love, and laughter. But my main focus of the world and what I do is motivational speaking and life coaching. So I think that's why the universe kind of brought me and Chance in alignment, because we're here to help you. We're here to help you. But, I was listening to your last podcast, and it's true. Like, we're only here to guide, right? After that, they got to do it themselves. So Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm excited for this. Thank you for having me back.
Of course. Great vibes, great peoples.
Oh, yeah, make sure to follow, too, because real quick. Your girl got a little, short film coming out, and I'm also branching into the music industry. So, you got to keep up with me.
Tell them to add one time.
I put out that spicy. Hold on.
What's that?
That girl, Luli Hunty. Don't play with it. Follow me.
Which platforms can they find you at?
All of them. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, okay? Facebook, all of it.
TikTok is crazy.
All of it.
I heard that shit in a while. Okay, the last I don't know which episode we're gonna drop first. Y'all may see an episode where I haven't explained why I have short hair. Hold on, actually, as I speak on this, I'm gonna have this shit off for a little bit. But I feel like a lot of people, you guys, I'll even just say how people reacted to this shit when they kind of seen it on social media. Bro, everybody was just like, what the fuck? Did we miss a chapter? Like, when did this happen? I'm like, bro, I went to go get a haircut. And I was thinking about, there's been such drastic changes in me personally, emotionally, mentally, all of this shit, right? This was the next one. I'm completely reinventing myself. And I'm not letting go of this older version of me. The fuck no. I may still get short hair. I may grow my hair at a certain point. But this was one of those big things I did on purpose because I didn't want to. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? You didn't want to do it, but you did it. Yeah, normally when I do something I don't want to do and I know there's a lot of value in it, I gain a lot more than I lose. So my thing with my hair was, it's not what I need in the moment. So I had to be willing to adjust myself to the version that is going to most thrive. A chance to strive. A chance to thrive. You feel me? So it's like, for me to strive and be great, I have to be somebody that can get up and move. But my hair, I can't do that. When I'm waking up late for work, I need to invest a little bit more time just to my appearance in general. And it's like, it wasn't about, I want to look my best. It's more being presentable. That's the thing for me. It's not about, you're cutting your hair because you have these corporate internships, this and that. I think I've already had them shits and I was rocking braids. So that's never the thing for me. It was like, and there's also part of it is like, I started growing my hair after college. And I think my hair was very much tied to my image on social media. It's not the same person anymore. Y'all can go on social media and chase the old shit. It's not. So for me, it's like, I get a lot of y'all are going to miss my hair. And a lot of people, a lot of y'all are like, damn, this shit was good, but this is so great too. We fine.
Spicy.
You feel me? It's like, and I'm not going to lie, the part where it's like, some of y'all be like, oh, this nigga glue up again. I'm like, I thought I was done too. But this shit don't stop. So basically, now this is the part where it's like, we're going to open up to both perspectives. My hair was very much tied to a version of me that's softer, that doesn't do all of this extra shit, that doesn't impress people. And I think you guys have to understand, I know a lot of people love my hair. So that was part of the decision. Letting go of a part of myself that a lot of you guys love. You won't understand just how much that does for you. But once you're able to break that down, constantly pleasing people, and now you do something drastically and take something people love away from yourself. Scary, bro. But, and that's the thing, I felt it. A lot of people's like, oh, bring the hair back to this or that. And I'm like, I actually don't care. I generally like this. I know a lot of people are not happy with it, but I'm happy I made the decision. It was a little impulsive, tiny bit, but I don't regret it. It's like a lot of people, it's like they start touching hair that is, and I can't do braids. I love each version of myself, and it's like the older I get, the more my appearance, no matter how good or great it is, the less it matters. And it's because it's like there are so many things that are so much greater, and they go so much further past that. It's like at a certain point, you used to be worried about your looks so much. It's like, damn, I really need this to put my best foot forward. I need a conversation and just my words to put my best foot forward at this point.
Spicy.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't really go for it. But like I said, the image that I built up, it was as I started doing my hair and everything like that. And it's not the right one. And I'm okay with that. I learned a lot from doing this shit. But now, let's go back to Thens. You know, it's Thens Duvjella. I'll drop my government on here, you feel me? It's like, let's go back to Thens Duvjella. Because he's the innocent one. He's the one that's very nurturing, caring. Chance Strive. Kind of went the wrong way with him a little bit sometimes.
Spicy.
He started doing shit to impress motherfuckers, and he was just whipping that shit out, this and that. It's like, it was cute and all that, but the next level of myself requires me to tap back into Thens Duvjella more than Chance _Strive. So for me, it's like, at next for a while, I'll give it off to you. It's like, my hair is tied to an image of myself, and then when I developed with it, I didn't like it. You can talk about your hair and like what it means for you type shit, and why you're gonna leave it until it drops down to the cheeks. Like, it's on my fault. It's on the cheeks already.
I'm about to say
it's already on the
cheeks.
cheeks. It's already in the cheeks. That's ridiculous.
Let me see. I could show y'all a little something, but this don't do it justice, like, because it's still up in the hat, but it's really like halfway past my butt, which is crazy.
It's just leaning off the chair. Y'all can't see the angle I got, but it's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
People buy wigs. People buy wigs that look like her hair. I just want y'all to know that, okay? Y'all buy wigs to look like what she looks like. It's okay. It's okay. Let me not hurt somebody's feelings. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with it. Love your hair, nappy, no matter what it is. Gorgeous.
Hey, listen, and disclaimer, the teeth are real too, by the way.
Oh,
ain't no orthodontist. They ain't nothing, baby. It's all natural. Shout out to my mama and my daddy. You know what I'm saying? But
somebody was like, your parents ate. When I heard that shit, I was like, I'm gonna use that. Your parents ate. Your parents ate.
That ate. You know what I'm saying? Two pretty little things made another little pretty thing. Real grateful. But it's so funny that you specifically said that, because a lot of people don't know, but I was blonde for a long time.
I seen that shit in your story today.
You feel me? And your girl is nowhere near, like, look at me. I have very indigenous, like, Taino features. I'm Puerto Rican. There was no reason for that. And, you know, looking back now, it was something that I felt like I did it because I looked so much like my mom, and my mom had been blonde my whole life. You know, you grow up being like, oh, I love my mom, I love my dad, I want to be like them. And I did it in high school, and it was something where, like, it was just spicy. Like, I don't know, I was really like, I don't know, I still love that shit. When I look at I feel like she's the bad Luli. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get where you were coming from, because part of the reason that I went back was because I wanted to be in tune with who I really am. Like, how was I born? I haven't seen my natural hair color in so long. So, like, even now I'm getting rid of, like, the dark that I put back in. But I feel so much more aligned and in tune with who I really am, and not this, like, entity, you know. I think that's why a lot of people thought that Luli was like a facade or like a persona, but no, like, it's who I am. So I had to show, like, more natural. And I think it's beautiful, honestly, because when you go through things, like, a lot of people tell me to cut my hair because I've been through a lot too the past few years. But the way I see my hair now is, it's my, like, I've converted it into my strength, because it's like, at one point, my blonde, I used to tell people I'm gonna die with my blonde. So it was like reverse, and now I'm letting it grow. I cut my own ends. Only 2 of my homegirls, shout out to y'all, do my hair, okay? So we got Dina and we got, you know, Iman, and other than that, I do it myself, and now I feel so much better, you know? So I think it's dope. It goes to you. A lot of people can't let go of their hair, me, but you're killing it, so I like it.
Yeah, my thing is, like, I think I briefly said this, but this was, I'll tell y'all a selfish thing that I do, right? Being the person that rarely gets advice given to them because I just know so much. It's not like I don't look for it, but a lot of my friends, they avoid giving me advice. Because it's like, if we give advice, it's like, nigga, I know this shit already. What the fuck? And it'd be like, no offense, it's like, this is my shit for a reason. A lot of other things, if I ask them advice on it, beautiful. But when it's like me as a person developing, progressing, it takes somebody to really know me to give me something that I don't know, or perspective that I haven't even thought about yet. The fact that there are different versions of you, where there's like one with the hair, one that's blonde and stuff like that, one thing a lot of people don't realize as you're changing, this is more so like advice and just something we can speak on itself. You cannot become a different person and tap into the same habits. You can't. And I watch this person, and this is the thing, right? I get what I was saying now. The whole people giving me advice, right? At times I give people advice, but I'm giving myself advice. Like I'm telling them something and they were like, oh damn, I really needed to hear this. But in reality, it's like, I needed to hear that shit too. You feel me? It's like, and one thing I told him, I was like, bro, like who we're trying, like I'll break it down exactly how the person I was speaking was like, who we're trying to be. We don't get a pass for this shit. Like the version of you, like Thens, like the whole wholesome version of you, it doesn't allow shit like this to happen. It doesn't take advantage of people, but then you justify it because it doesn't matter. Once you have affected a person, that part of you is hurt. Like that version of me, Thens, he doesn't want to hurt people. Even if there are reasons where my logical side is going to tap in and be like, this is justified. But it's like, it was someone I knew. It's like, I know they're trying to be something so great and pure. And it was in a moment where it's like seeing them not even take advantage, but kind of like allowing someone to let them take advantage of. So it's like, it could be justified. The person is doing too much. They're ignoring signs, but it's like the person you want to be, this version of you that you're saying you're trying to build, you're trying to tap into currently, they don't do this anymore. Where they still allow themselves to go out on, let's just say, go out on dates with guys, let them pay that, this or that. Or even the cute dates too. It's like, well, you know you don't want this person, right? But you're still taking part in creating memories with them. To them, it means something. To you, it doesn't, because you're not walking, you're not building. But for me, it was like when I had to tell the person, it's like, this isn't who you are. Like I could just let it be. And generally, you didn't do a terrible thing. But this version of you is going to go back and sit down and think I did a shitty thing to a shitty person, because this was a cute date, but I had no intentions with this individual. That version, the new version of you that you're tapping into, separate the way it justifies shit from the last version of you. Because the more you justify shit like the older version of you, it creeps up on you and you start tapping and you start being that person. That's when you lose your progress. If we're progressing, I don't want to go backwards. I'm straight. So old patterns, old habits.
They die hard though. That's the thing. Like, I feel like for me, the main thing that you have to realize is that if you really want to make those changes, be prepared for what comes with it, because you, like, letting go is the number one thing. Like, aside from just the physical thing, right? Like, you know, Chance and I have talked about, like, just different vices. Everybody has different vices, and it's not necessarily something that has to be drinking or smoking or sex. It could be something like food or something like I like shopping, whatever, right? You have to learn to be disciplined and to be like, okay, well, I want to be more financially stable. I want to be fit. I want to be this. I want to be that. And I want to be the highest version of myself. You might have to get through 3 different layers of a person you don't even know yet to get to your highest version. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to like it. There's going to be times where you're going to break down. And there's going to be times where you're going to, like Chance said, let things creep in, because you're going to be like, fuck this. This is too hard. I don't want to be this person. But you do, because you're craving it, right? Like inside, your body's like, you're shedding. I like to call it the caterpillar phase. Because,
I fuck with that.
You know, because you're eating and like you're learning and you're growing. But the caterpillar eventually, right? It doesn't stay like that, and it has to shed, and it has to go through the cocoon, and in the cocoon it's like molding and shedding, and like a snake almost, but inside. And then when it comes out, it's a whole nother creature, like one that the caterpillar, you think when the caterpillar is born, it's like, I'm gonna be a butterfly. No, it's just hungry as fuck, like, and it just gotta do what it gotta do. But eventually it becomes the utmost highest version of itself, so much so that it flies now. Like, that's insane. So that's how I feel. I feel like whenever I see a part of me that needs to be fixed, I'm like, well, is you really prepared, girl? Because if you're not prepared, you better milk it for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? Like,
first tap back into that
yeah,
shit.
you feel me? Like I'm gonna keep it a buck, because it is what it is. Like, I think people who have like vices like that, like the smoking and drinking and stuff, that's way harder, because you're telling yourself something and then you're in denial of it. Like, oh, I could quit cold turkey. You're capping. If you've been smoking weed consistently for more than a year, tú me estás mintiendo a mí. Me estás mintiendo. Because, like, no, it's addictive. So if you don't tell yourself, hey, you know what? If I do this, every time that I want to smoke a blunt, instead of going to go get the weed and backtracking, I'm going to put the 40, 50, 60, 80 bills into a vacation fund, into a new car fund. Because now you're going to start seeing, you think you want to put 80 bills in every time you get a craving? No, it's going to stop your ass.
It's going to stop you from wanting that shit.
No, I didn't even think about that shit. Nope.
You know? It's like, what she said is like, you can't, I think this is one thing, it's like, I can piggyback off this very fucking well. Stop being, like, a lot of y'all are delusional as shit when it comes to changing. And I'm saying this from like, y'all know I don't shit on people for things. And, you know, I'm drinking a little wine. I'm playing. But I think my thing is just like, you can't just drop habits or old things you used to do and think you're not gonna need to replace them. Right? I'm gonna give you an example of, not too many people listen to my podcast. I didn't really want to tell any of my genuine friends and family that I'm stopping smoking because I don't want my process to be about them. I'm very big on pleasing people. So it's like, doing this with the admiration of people, it really doesn't mean shit in comparison to me doing it still and not having anybody give me credit or anything like that as I'm doing it. Not like at the end, of course I'll say it, but during that process, I don't want motivation. Nah, bro, you got this. Or somebody to you feel like no, I want to recognize these things for myself. If I slip and I fuck up, I just start back up again. It's fine. I'm okay with failing. It's like, at least I'm learning some shit now. The next time I do it, I can find a smarter way to tap into it. But one of the biggest things was like, the urges to smoke, bro. I've been smoking. I wasn't always a pothead, you feel me? But, you know, those last few months,
it develops.
Yeah, it developed, you know, slowly but surely, sadly. But yeah, it's like I said, these drastic changes, it's like, bro, as great as y'all used to give me credit for, it's going to be a whole different person in front of you. It's going to be so beautiful. Oh my God. But my thing is, it's like, if I have the urge to smoke, bro, I go do something else. Like today, sometimes, you know, I go on a walk during my break and I just a little something. See, it'll never be like a full blunt. I'm not OD like that. You know, be a little something, just spike, you know, if I'm getting a little tired, you feel me?
You got a little roachy for like 3 days.
Exactly, you feel me? Like, I'm hitting this motherfucker real quick, put it back down. And then it's like, I had to replace that. Today, when I had that urge, you know what I did? I went and got my car washed. Because I had to sit outside my car and let these niggas go in and vacuum. So I can't be thinking about weed. Bro, I'm thinking about what the fuck are they doing in my car? And then it's like, or if I'm really, like, if I'm at home and I'm itching, I'm forcing it.
Not the itch.
I'm forcing it. You feel me? But if I'm like, yo, where the drugs at? In the gym, nigga, go work that thought out. Go work that thought out your system.
Sweat it out.
And then, because guess what? When I get back, I'm exhausted. I don't want to sit and wait and text a plug. I know they gonna bullshit me. So make your process work for you.
I feel like also too, like, it's the release that you need, but you're just not trying to. At least for me, like, the times that I've ever felt like, okay, I need to smoke or I want to smoke, or like, it's very habitual, you know. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm not someone who like enjoys the bong or whatever. Like, I like to be on the computer and working and doing what I gotta do and being like, oh, on the ashtray. But like, I used to smoke a lot, and like, I just realized, like, and respectfully, right? Because I know this is a problem, an issue for a lot of people, but ew. Like, ew. I don't know how you feel about yourself, but I think I'm too damn cute to smoke anything. Like, definitely crack. Can't smoke crack, but like, weed, cigarettes, anything. Like, there's something about being clean in all aspects that like the rest of your body kind of just follows. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think people think I'm crazy, but like, the less that I eat processed foods, the less that I smoke weed, the less that I drink and do different things, I don't even have BO like that. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, people stink, like, but I gotta like work for it. Like, I gotta really put in work for that. And you know, I hear people being like, yeah, I don't even wear deodorant, and people will rash them. But it's like, baby girl, you eat McDonald's and not even baby girl, baby boy too. Yeah, eat McDonald's 5-6 times a week. Yeah, you're gonna smell like un crematorio, like you're gonna stink. So I don't know. I think if you're gonna find something that's gonna make you feel that same way. Like, whether it's a good hobby or something that like that, where it exerts your body and you're feeling relaxed and calm, you know, because a lot of people will stop smoking and drinking, doing things like that, and then go have sex with multiple people. So we're not saying to go find something that's just as negative.
Healthy.
Yeah, please. What if I want?
Like, you can't replace bad habits with bad habits. I did that shit, and it works at times. But bro, at times it's not the substance or that act itself that you have the urge for. You have the urge for what it represents, and you can only get it through that. For me, smoking and stuff like that, I used to be the person that could always maintain my thoughts and everything like that, always still. Life happens, bro. So smoking was never one of those things. I'm one of those people where it's like, if I'm ever sad, I don't smoke on purpose because I don't want my emotions to start being tied to smoking. But I wasn't aware of all aspects that smoking could be embedded, like that it can be in bed with. And it's like, for me, my appetite, like smoking and eating, these niggas was in bed together. They was fucking a lot. You feel me? So now so at times it's like, when I go to that bed, I'm not really sure what I'm seeing because they both always on that shit. At times I'm high as shit and I don't have an appetite, but I feel hungry and I start eating and I can't eat because I'm not actually hungry. Or at times, you know, I'm hungry, but I get the urge to smoke. Bro, I am look, I listen to my body and I tell y'all understand what the fuck your subconscious is telling you. For me, if my brain is sending signals that are fucked up, I know it takes a while to start getting to the point where you can understand your brain sending you signals, what that fuck that really feels like or means. But bro, I don't like that I'm hungry and my body starts randomly getting an urge to smoke. Why? Because I smoke, I eat, I smoke, I eat. If I smoke often, now every single time after I smoke, I'm gonna try to eat right after because I may eat a little more. You know, I need the munchies and I'm trying to go in the gym, trying to build weight, but somewhere along the lines, because of doing that so much, the two became too intertwined for this motherfucker to separate. She was dying over there. Can't even
I'm trying to hold this so bad, y'all.
It's straight, but
it takes 21 days to create a habit. 21. So just what, like 2.5 weeks to create a habit. So I feel you because I'm actually the opposite. So if I smoke, I'm not as hungry. Yeah, so like I think it's because I'm just full of air, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? But like everything tastes better. So it's definitely a mental thing where you're like, when you do get hungry, you're like, oh wait, this shit kind of good. I want another piece. I want, you know, and then you got like a bottomless pit situation going on. And I feel like, I don't know, when it comes to weed, it really is a slippery slope. Like I actually had a conversation with a couple people last night who've never smoked before, and they're like, oh, I kind of want to smoke. I'm like, don't do it. It's not even just like a money thing, a health thing. It's really like, it's a bad habit because like you said, you start to intertwine it because your body also releases chemicals, right? Like a lot of people, when you watch them, like that's why I always say it's an addiction. It's just like, I mean, I'm not watching people do crack, but it's the same difference because when they'll take that first hit and they'll be like, I'm like, what do you got in your blunt? I don't really want that. Like, because like you said, they're connecting it constantly. But then it gets slippery because, okay, you might not do it when you're sad or when you're mad or whatever, but then you're doing it when you're with your friends. Now your best friend and you only connect off weed. Y'all only hanging out, and when y'all hang out, y'all roll up, eat, chill, talk. Go ahead and hang out with this person the next 4 or 5 times, no weed. Even if they got the weed, don't be like, nah, let's not smoke, let's be sober. Watch how like the day shortens. Like normally you would like, you feel me? You would hang out with somebody 8 hours high as hell. You'd be 2 hours in, you're like, I don't really, you kind of annoying.
I think I'll say that this is one thing is like, well, a lot of people don't stop smoking. They will not tell you this, but I know a lot of people that don't stop smoking because everybody around them smoke. And I'm one of those people that's like, I do have a lot of friends where I don't really see how much we're going to really intertwine at this point if I'm not really getting high with you. And it's not even nothing disrespectful, bro. It's just like our interests in life has taken complete.
Absolutely.
We took different paths. And this is the thing, right? Understand that neither one of us are shitting on smoking. A lot of my close friends still fucking smoke. Like, bro, hey, do you think I look at them in any type? Bro, I was just doing this shit. You know, I hate people that start doing things a little differently and then you look down on people that did the same shit as you, bro.
Right.
You were at that point eventually, so there's always a level of understanding you can offer to people like that. But my biggest thing was like, I generally don't like the version of myself that I am when I constantly feel like I'm smoking a lot more. I don't like it. If that doesn't affect you mentally, emotionally, or anything like that, and you can maintain it, sure.
Cap.
Hey,
everybody get cap. You're literally, it's called being under the influence. So anybody out here who's watching this like, nah, Chance is right. You're in denial, mi amor. That's the first step, remember, of the 12-step program. Denial. Because I also had to go through that where I was like, I'm not me addicted to weed. a lot of people, you're smoking weed out of tobacco products, mi amor. Even if it's not the weed, you're addicted to the tobacco. I know people that won't get a pre-roll because they're like, it don't hit the same. Because you don't have tree bark in there. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. So, I don't know. That was just my bad. I just had to come in there. Like,
yeah. So, like, I will say, weed itself isn't technically addictive the way you smoke. Very much is. The little grubber, the little leaf, the little paper. You know what got in it? I got the nick. You know how we tell niggas, you smoking a nick stick? What the fuck?
They got Fonto all over.
They are 3 to 5%. Your frontals has nicotine in it, my boy. I stopped doing that shit, and that's the thing where I says like you can't replace a bad habit with a bad habit. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting high as shit. I don't want to get high no more. Cause it's me, right? I'm in school. I'm like, I can't fight that urge. I can't go cold turkey with all this stress I'm doing. I'm gonna use a puff bar. Fuck it, just for the time being. Let me train that. When it was time that I could go back to smoking, my urge did not go down. I still did that just as much with something else, but now it's like I have a pack of gum, and I'm trying not to overeat that shit.
Just slowly.
But bro, it's like you gotta learn what works for you, and stop being unrealistic about what affects your life. Right? This is the thing about anybody that smokes often. How much time do you invest into it? It's the simplest things. For me, it's not like certain parts of my life were fucked up because I smoke. Please understand that. But if I can break down one day for y'all, right? I wake up at 6. I get to work by 9 because I have to drive about an hour and a half. I get back. I get off at like 4 or 5. I get back home 6, 7. I go to the gym. I come back home. It's like 8-ish. I have to eat 9. I haven't done anything for myself yet. I've done the things that I needed to do, but in terms of free time, I have about this is why I used to sleep late, right? Because I'll smoke mad late and now I'm high. It's like the high me is like, ooh,
stay awake.
we like, want excitement, my boy.
Enjoy it.
We want that. And like the dopamine you get from it, it's like you constantly want more. Even if you stop smoking, I promise you, a lot of people, when they are smoking, you'll see it's like they have to be on their phone scrolling through some shit. I'm the exact same way. It's this intake of dopamine where your body's like, ooh, we're getting things that excite us. Whoa, this is unnatural. This is a lot. Now let's do more. Why do you think a lot of people, they'll be very much to themselves? They start smoking, all of a sudden they want to do shit. Smoking, curious that dopamine. Now it's like that little thing that gives it that excitement from sex, all of this shit. Your body doesn't know how it comes in or where it comes in from, but it just knows I'm being overwhelmed by it.
But that just goes back into the fact that if you really break it down and you go all the way back, nothing is actually truly addictive is what that thing does for you that becomes addictive because, like nobody should be having smoke in their lungs, right? So we can come down to the fact that it is a little unhealthy, but like weed is a plant and it is natural and, you know, in the Bible it even states, and not even to, you know, whatever you believe in, but anything we know that if you have too much of anything is bad for you. So if you're doing that and you're not really in control, and then, you know, as me and Chance have been saying, is something where like the dopamine is what's kind of fueling you, then you're always going to want to do something negative in that way. But if you start having positive situations around you that give you that dopamine, it's going to be like way better for you. Way better because, like I said, I'm not perfect. There's still a lot of things in my life I want to change. But when I did my fast, so the last podcast I was here, I was on a 72-hour fast. I kid you not. I'm different. Like, really, like, I think it reorganized my brain. Like, I kid you, I wish I could make this shit up. Like, I was already a very loving, like, in tune person, aligned, all that stuff. But, like, there's been some shit that's happened in the last week and a half that, like, normally your girl would have been, like, stressed. Or, like, you know, I'm just like, fuck it. And you would think that I am high or something. Yeah, I'm calm. I'm very much like, it's cool. It's a part of the process. Like, it's cool. Like, that's what I just keep saying. I'm like, you're good. It's cool. And then I'm like, who is she? Like, I like her.
How's she
but like, ooh,
like this? What?
Yeah, because your girl is spicy. Like, when I tell you like 14 habanero peppers, like if I'm stressed out or something happens,
you want it.
Yeah, I'm irritable. I want it. I'm hungry. But I'm just like, it's coming. It's mine, baby. Got my name on it. Tupperware in the fridge locked. Like, it's mine. So.
I love it. This is when we start switching into like the things that y'all kind of want.
Ooh.
I think I had one more question I actually wanted to hit in this podcast. This guy, my fears and friends make fun of my ignorance and lack of knowledge about things that has led me to stop speaking out loud because I'm scared of going out. Because I'm scared I'm going to say something dumb and shit and some dumb shit. I like how you put it. And I don't bother going out because I have zero intellect. When I talk to people, I think I'm becoming socially anxious, depressed, that my peers and friends call me ignorant.
First of all, I love you.
Damn.
Like that's
I know that's got a little dark than what I read, bro. I actually reply to this person pretty often, so I'm glad I do that and don't just ignore you, my boy. How do you know so much and how are you so wise? How do I improve my intellect so I don't come off ignorant to people?
That's wicked.
Any advice?
That's so wicked. I'm sorry you even going through that, babe.
I'll give them advice after, but you can start off with that. It was like you. I was like, stop it. But chill.
So for me, I think the first advice I'm gonna give you is get new friends. Don't even try to, because here's the thing, right? I am a very wise, intellectual human. I tell whenever people ask me my age, I'm like, I'm 360 something. You feel me? Like it's irrelevant because I know more than the average human, right? However, I do have people around me, and shout out to my friends because I'm not being specific on who or what, but we're all in different frequencies, right? And normally when people like us come into people's lives, and what I mean by us is the people who have maybe done a few more things or been through more things to be more wise, quote unquote. It is literally your duty now to spread that knowledge and not to shame and not to treat someone like shit for them not being where you are, right? Because respectfully, my journey has been fucking ridiculous, like hard. It's been insane. So if I go to someone who's maybe been more privileged or just had a different struggle, right? And they don't know the wisdom that I know don't know what prevented them from getting there. Or if they didn't have the right people around, or, if they just took things a different way. So for you to have those type of people around that aren't encouraging you or putting you on, right? Like if my girl was to say something dumb, I might laugh a little bit and be like, girl, no. And then I would tell her, but I wouldn't make her feel like an idiot. I wouldn't, make her feel like she can't speak now. Because remember, your mouth, your tongue is powerful. It's a gift. So this is a part of your testimony now. And you bringing new people into your life, you'll be able to help them if they're going through something like you. So don't stop talking.
My thing is like knowledge I have extracted it in ways where I do tell myself, bro, you got lucky. I tell myself this all the time. There are certain things that just worked. It's just like there's a higher power just making this shit fall into place. Because there are certain things that should have been so shitty for my life. But it ended up being like a gift to go through some of those things. But it worked for me, and I was able to learn this out of it. And there are some things I know that I don't want people to ever have to go through the experience that it takes to learn it. I don't, bro. It sucks. Like, part of wisdom that a lot of people seem to forget is you had to step on a lot of pain and terrible experiences, bro. You understand these deepest psychologists, these people that are constantly putting quotes out, philosophers, this and that. You think they had the most peaceful life and went into the forest and just wrote? No, bro. They went through a lot of shit. They had shitty lives. Some of the people that have accomplished some of the greatest fucking things in this world, they went through shit where it's just like nobody really cared about investing into them because of just where they were. Right? One of the things that I can probably bring up that you know of so well, Mickey Mouse. Everybody knows what that is. But the creator, his life was so bad at a certain point he was eating out of a garbage. But this is one of those things that carried our childhood that meant so much to us. But the person who brought it out that we think is so wise, that had these thoughts, great, amazing things, is like, that's the life they had to go through to get to that point, to become important. To have this knowledge of like, oh, what do they really want to see in this? It's like everything you go through, it counts for something if you make it. For me, I'm big on like always learning. So for you, your experience of like constantly being around people that are shitting on you, this and that, make that your motivation to constantly not know shit. The moment you are in a conversation with somebody and they present an idea that you don't know, I don't like the idea that I can't bring anything to certain conversations, which is why I try to make myself such like a bulletproof person. You'll still pierce through them because there are places I'm still working on fixing and shit, but I have a little bit of everything, which is why I'm not scared of walking into certain conversations with certain individuals. No matter where you take it, I got you. But when you don't have that, I can understand why you're a little anxious to speak to certain individual. What if they start talking about this and I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say about it? But in terms of like advice, and I'll just tell you what works for me, since you seems like you may be okay with what this is and what he does. So I'll tell you what worked for Chance, right? I made this shit my interest. You can't get better at something and look at it like work. You can't. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but one of those things that happens up here, your mind has to be in tune with it in a whole different manner, because there's no guidance, there's no structure, there's no person there to guide you. It's just here. It's just you and that. Unless you find this shit interesting, the little things you're able to do with your thoughts, you're not going to like it. And if you want to, you may be a little steps back behind me, but I'm going to tell you how I got to this point. You know, it's the simplest shit that I did that nobody will ever think really invested a great amount into this. Looking up quotes. People think it was the dumbest shit when I did it in high school, middle school. Still to this day, I search up quotes about love, quotes about prosperity, quotes about solitude, quotes about, and I'll tell you why I do this, right? Those quotes, they come from people that have invested some of their whole entire life into studying this one thing. There are some philosophers out there that dedicate their whole life to learning what solitude is like, and they do go in solitude to learn what it's like, and they report back out. I'm never going to be able to invest myself into something that much, but I can learn from somebody else who already did it. And the great thing about our generation is you have everything at your fucking fingertips.
Literally.
So anytime you go into a situation and you talk about something, you're like, I don't know this, search it up. You on social media, you see some shit that you don't understand, search it up. Make it one of those things where it's like you're happy to do it. That's my thing. Whenever I don't understand, like till to this day, right? My 7th grade, she wasn't even my teacher. She was just this lady that really liked me because I was always full of energy, always nice, and I was never rude to teachers, right? She said one word to me that I didn't understand. And every single time she said it to me, I told her, keep saying that word to me because I want to remember it. Photovoltaic. It's the simplest shit at times, but your inability to let go of knowledge or to let go of shit that you may not know, take all of these opportunities as a chance to learn. Like, bro, I'm telling you of a word I remembered in 7th grade because a person just said it to me and I was like, oh, it's hard. But just because it was hard, I made sure that shit was embedded in my head to the point where it's like, I can recall on a word where it's like, I didn't even have a bond with that person, but I remember their face because of that word. So for me, what I'm really trying to get is like, just make this shit interesting to you, bro. I like reading deep shit, so I went into an outlet that offered me that. So it was like I'm having fun. I'm like, ooh. And this was my thing, right? I'm very great at creative writing. So poetry, oh my God, that was my shit. But another part, if you do like poems, this is something you should do, right? Grab a poem and rewrite it. Communicate all the same message. Or this is the thing when you start playing with it and have fun. Like one of my best poems that I've ever written, it's a replica of another poem that was beautifully written. But I broke that poem down so much and I'm like, oh, this is the idea. This is how you get to it. And I'm like, I bet. This is the idea, but I don't like the way it ended. That little part he left us off with, I don't like it. I rewrote that whole entire poem.
That's fire.
And then I gave it a different meaning. His thing was like, love is gone.
You were like, it's alive.
No, I was like, love has been given a different definition.
Absolutely.
But it's like, nigga, that's beautiful. The fact that I did that, but it's from someone who invested so much of their life to making something so beautiful and pretty for us. So why the fuck would I not tap back into it and learn from this beautiful thought process you had? That part. Because that one poem, it might have been the guide through their whole entire journey they went through. That might have been the poem where like, how did my life go? Spend the whole life writing that one poem because they want to become known, famous. Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. Like some of these things, when you really dive in and you find the messages that are hidden in them, and when you don't know, what did this poem mean? You have access to shit, bro. Tap into it.
Well, to piggyback off something you said, you see how he just said that he took something that someone did, right? Made it his own and also kind of elaborated more on it, right? So you have a man who dedicated his entire life to that topic and made that poem. And then you have Chance who didn't dedicate his whole life to that topic, but he can see something that man still didn't see even with his whole life being dedicated to that. That just goes to show that nobody really knows fucking shit. Okay? Like at the end of the day, you can study, you can do what you want, you can perfect, you can, you know, get better. But at the end of the day, we find out shit every day that you're like, wait, what? I've been living in this world. I didn't even know that. I didn't know this. So for you to ever look at somebody and point a finger and be like, you don't know this, you're stupid. Like, you're stupid too, though. Like, cause you feel me? It puts you in a room with different people. Like, you'd be dumb too. Yeah. Exactly. So why pick on the person who we would call like the underdog, right? Or the person who is the runt of the crew. Like, if anything, you're only as strong as your weakest link, baby. So if he's the one in your crew, in your clique, and you're calling him an idiot and you think you're the leader for that, you just as much as an idiot. Because I would never let people around me on my team suffer or feel some type of way. I'm eating, you're eating, we eating. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So that's in all ways. It's not just food, finances, it's intellect, it's knowledge, it's really being able to spread that. So like, definitely what I would do is prove them wrong. The best way you could get revenge without fighting, without yelling, doing none of that, is become the person that they say you could never be. Like, period, you know? Like, when I finally am traveling the world doing what I gotta do that I know is coming for me, I don't wanna hear all the people that would be like, damn girl, that's all you talk about. Don't hit me up. Y'all know who y'all are. Because sometimes it's not meant for them to see. Sometimes you are covered for a reason because you're so special that not everybody deserves to see you. And then everybody will see you eventually. So again, I love you. Just remember, like, we're here for you. You know what I mean? And like I told you, find new friends, and the best way to do that is to go through a community, you know, some kickboxing, maybe some sort of other martial art. You should start knitting, bro. Like, go to a book club, like, do some, there's so much to do in the world. And I'm just so passionate about this because I hate when people bully people or just make them feel like a certain way, because sometimes all it takes is one thing, and that's the straw that broke the camel's back. So we love you.
Yeah, it's like, I really wish people understood. It's like, when you know so much, it doesn't mean you shit on other people.
Ever.
It means you have a greater ability to invest, to teach, to help. And I found out that made me a little happier than shitting on people. Not that I didn't do it. I'll be completely honest. Of course, I fucking did. When somebody's being ignorant and I know more than I laugh in my head. But I make sure the laugh is in my head. Okay, that's even bullshit. Not always. Sometimes I like to straighten some delusional motherfuckers. A little just a little bit, you feel me? But you've been someone that's been waiting, so this is the reason why I'm gonna take another question by you, my boy. I fuck with you a lot heavy, my boy. I told you this. But how do I smell good on a budget? I'll give this from the men perspective, and then I think it'll be great for you to get both how the man does it and how a woman does it, because I promise you I've had to pick up a lot of shit hygiene-wise from women, because the way niggas did just shit doesn't fucking matter. But how do you smell good on a budget? And then there's another part you have in there, but it'll be relating to a deeper conversation that I'll bring in later. How do you smell good on a budget? One thing I will say is, like, no, I don't know where you live, but I will give you the type of stores you need to go to, right? There are stores where they sell everything, but they get things afterwards. So it'll be things like thrifting. That's one thing. Thrifting is like, I'm not talking about go buy clothes and shit like that at thrifting. But no, if a lot of the times it's like things like Marshalls or TJ Maxx are stores I love. And the reason why is because you find a lot of essential things you need that would normally cost a shit ton to get elsewhere. When it comes to, like, I'll break down, it's like cologne at Marshalls. Bro, I can get an elite cologne for like 25, 30. And I have tried this. Like, I'm talking about, like, I buy one and I'm like, I'm about to go on this date. I don't care about this shorty, but I'm gonna hug her and make sure she smells my neck. I have been complimented off $30 colognes. Toxic, like, oh my God, you smell good.
Toxic, run away.
But it's like, bro, you have to learn these things. You got to learn how to smell good on a budget, because sometimes you don't got the bread, but you don't want your hygiene to be taking a hit. Period. And for me, it's like when you're putting on cologne, especially if you're somebody who sweats, I feel like a lot of people don't understand. It's like, if there is nothing that smells good on your body and you start sweating, it smells like sweat. So for me, it's like lotion yourself. Or the random things isn't like when you're using your cologne, know the parts of yourself that you need to spray, you know, like this. Right. Anytime you're reaching to someone, you're touching their face. Like, imagine you're touching your shorty's face, right? The little wrist, right? Imagine you were touching the girl's face. What is the closest thing to her nose? If you're touching her cheek, right? I'm touching myself right now. Imagine I'm touching the shorty, right?
Chances a hoochie daddy. Don't listen to her. You're going to end up with a baby.
What's the closest thing to her nose?
You're going to end up with a baby.
You feel me? It's your wrist.
No.
And if you're hugging somebody, it's not even your neck, but it's, if you're gonna get into some sexual things and she likes ears, stay away from this. But if she don't touch the ears, spray some shit in the back of this motherfuckers when she's laying her head on your shoulders. Oh, my baby smell good. That was always my thing. I always have one expensive cologne, which is why I have outlets to get cheap shit. One thing is like, that's that.
Not the bound chicken.
You know, you got the little Chanel, this and that, Dior.
Said, oh, she coming over.
I got Chanel, Dior, this and that. Like when I'm stepping out, I do that. But also deodorants. That's also a very big thing for guys. If you're somebody who sweats a lot, antidepressants are your way to go. The regular deodorants, they do not stop you from sweating. And a lot of people don't understand that. Not everybody deals with a sweating issue, which is why when you have a sweating issue, you don't really think like that. Some people put on deodorant and they don't sweat. So all they need is something to smell good. You do sweat. So you need something to counteract that and also make you smell good. I have found some of the cheapest shits actually work the best. Like for me, Secret, like their deodorants, it actually works better for me. I had a certain point where spray deodorants worked, but I didn't keep on working. But you have to also, it's like, when you try on deodorant, smell yourself. I realize, like, I feel like that's one of the big hygienic tips I can give you because so many people don't do this. Smell yourself, bro. Like, I'm not talking about doing it in public and I be all day with it type shit, but like, bro, if you know certain parts you don't.
Thanks. Spicy. Spicy.
You know, like, you should feel like that. Like, do things where it's like, smell yourself, take note of what you're using. If it doesn't work, switch it, alternate. A lot of people, y'all want to stick true to one thing and it doesn't fucking work. You use one deodorant and you always sweat. You don't have a sweating issue, but you may have a lot of your deodorants that don't respond well to that. Right. When it comes to like breath, oh my God, some of y'all like, oh, ridiculous with this shit. It can randomly happen. I get it. You don't eat a lot, that happens. Fuck it. But for that shit to be happening constantly, buy some gum. Like, like I don't need you to like make sure that shit goes in. Because some of y'all, I don't know how you become so blind to this shit. Smell your upper lip or something. Like, no, some people, it really be bad. Like
they do. They don't know. They
I
have
don't
no idea.
understand it. Like, bro, take note of all these shits. Like, you feel like at times you don't wanna fuck a shorty like suck your shit because you like, am I smell? Swipe, smell. Like, know what that looks like. And this is the thing at times, right? If you are learning and you're in the house all day by yourself, stay in your, like, don't do anything. Don't put on deodorant. Don't put on lotion. Don't put on any of that extra shit. Just see how your body functions by yourself without anything being there. Literally at times, like, you may have to, if you already stink, I don't know why I'm being nice with this. Let yourself smell, right? Without trying to do anything to stop it. Now, see what that's like. Be disgusted to learn everything you need to fucking do and not do this shit. Like, bro, the sweating a lot thing for me, if I'm sweating out and I have this is the thing, right? I know that I do at times sweat a lot, but I have days where I'm like, I'll switch my shirt, but days I can't do that. It's like, hey, bro, I'm not smelling the deodorant, and like the deodorant is kind of starting to fade away. You feel me? Now, when you see those things, you're like, I gotta figure out this shit works. I'm constantly switching through deodorants. If I see one thing stops working, we're switching. And also smoking, it affects my how much I sweat and everything like that. And I'm very big on my hygiene, this and that. So when I seen that, I was like, you got me fucked up.
Gotta go.
Stopped it. But those are like some of my main tips and like things I do randomly to like maintain smelling good and learn what clothes help you breathe. A lot of people wear shit that doesn't work for how you smell. You cannot be in the summer rocking jeans and you know your dick don't smell the greatest the moment it gets an inch of fucking sweat.
No.
Rock some motherfucking shorts. Leave them thick ass sweats at home.
I'm gonna throw up.
Cause some niggas really do this shit.
No,
though.
because
It's ridiculous.
I just found out a couple of days ago. You men are dirty. I found out a couple of days ago that a guy could smell like fish down there. I just fucking found out. Shout out to all my exes for always
Women can smell like that.
Yeah, but it makes sense, right? It's an open because it's an open. So like it make a penis is going into a vagina. It's an open gaping hole. So if you're not taking care of yourself as a woman, it makes sense for it to like have a smell.
Because it's from in there, deep in there.
Yeah, it's deep in there. So if a man is going inside of you, your pH might be thrown off if you're having multiple sexual partners, or it might be something where maybe he came inside you. His is that too spicy? Where he ejaculated.
I do.
Anyway, if he did that, that also throws off your pH. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got different levels. But for a man, for my friends to be like, yeah, like he smelled like curdled cheese and fish.
Oh, like they're saying like it wasn't like there was a smell
No,
body
it was
odor. Like it was
stinky.
one of those like
No, it
it
was-
got bad.
But your dick though, it smell like fish. I feel like you should just smell like pennies or something. You know, like
Yeah, like that could be
Like
some
an-
body odor. I get it if it's been a long day, but for it to like
no, papi, this shit was like straight up. She says she almost yacked. Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, he has an infection because there's no way that men, like how?
she's about to yak because it's that bad.
Yeah, you're a nasty, dirty boy. I hope you watch this. I'll never say who you are, but I know who you are.
I'm gonna give you some tips on this. Right? My boy. This is the thing we all don't understand, right? All right, I'm gonna give you this advice because I'm a man that loves my shit getting slurped on.
Oh my god.
So my thing is, I have to be very particular about what the fuck that shit smells like. Bro, and this is the thing, right? It's so bad to the point where it's like, I'll go in the bathroom stinks. I whip my shit, I'm like, is this the bathroom with me? Like, this can't be me. Like, bro, that's how much I really pay attention to shit. I'm like, nah, the way this bathroom smells, if I have anything to do with the little smell that comes up to me,
Yo.
that's not okay. But my thing is just kind of like, bro, the type of boxes you wear matters. Why? Right? Because this is the thing, right? Let's just say this is where your private parts are, and this is your legs. You can be a woman or a man. The parts you are likely, the parts you're likely going to. This is hard. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna spread this out so I can see a little bit better.
Damn, she doing a
This
split?
is your private, and these are your legs, right? These little parts, they will sweat the most. You know why? Because when you close them, this is constantly closed. Your legs move and shit like that, but this is constantly tight. If you are getting hot or you naturally sweat a lot, you will sweat in these crevices. So guess what my thing is, right? I wear boxes where I can breathe, where I let my shit just or the part that a lot of men don't realize, right? This is like the little. There's another woman here, so me giving y'all a tip into the tips and tricks into this is kind of crazy, but I will do it and give the secret out in front of a woman. I don't normally like doing it, but
Let me write this
you know,
shit down.
spray deodorants. Spray deodorants. I used to have one of my exes. I used to spray that shit a lot in certain parts of her body. I'm like, what the fuck? But no. It wasn't bad. I understood why she actually did it. I was like, okay.
Oh, I thought you said you did it. I thought you said you
Oh.
would like randomly spray her. That's why I had that reaction.
Wow.
Damn.
For you to think that bad, I randomly have to spray your shit?
You feel me? I was like, damn, Chance,
Nah.
you're patient. That's what I was.
Patient, that's dirty. Fuck that. Don't be patient with somebody's body odor. Shower.
You feel me?
Fuck. No. My thing was just like, if down there sweats a little bit, get
Spicy.
ready to make sure the sweat isn't something that stinks. So for me, before I put on certain boxes, I would spray them. I know I sweat. I don't want that sweat to be the only smell that stays in my boxes all day. Because then what do you think that smells like? It's not even like you stink, but let's just say you sweat a little bit. Your boxes sweat a little bit. They're tight. It sucks it, right? Now that stays on you the whole day. Or however long you are outside. No matter if you stink or not, you think sweat is gonna just smell good when it's closed up in one space.
But that's the thing. Normally, women and other women, y'all put it in the comments if y'all feel this way, because I know I definitely do. I like when a man sweats. Obviously not all the time, baby, but like maybe it's the men I've
If he
dealt
takes
with.
care of his health and everything's on par.
Heard you, but like men. Definitely, y'all sweat. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've never
But if it
experienced
stays,
anything like that.
like when it stays.
I do believe though that when you really care about your partner, you end up liking their sweat. But I've just never
But
known
not
that
when
a
it
man.
stays.
I didn't know that a man could smell like fish though.
Okay, fish. I'm not even speaking on that. I'm speaking on smelling good.
But I don't know what stinky is then. Like
No. So one
I
thing
feel
is
like
like,
I've never. I know that it's sweat, but it's like ooh.
think
he's not
about
back from the
this,
gym.
right? Imagine you sweat underneath, or somebody sweat underneath their armpits, right? And they use a certain type of deodorant that smells good. Once those two smells interact, and let's just say they're on that part of your shirt, and it stays all day, right? Throw it away, like put it in laundry clothes, and I randomly smell it after a few days of going by.
Oh, that's nasty though. Yeah, you shouldn't smell like that for a few days.
But this is my point. It's not about smelling like that for a few days. It's just maintaining the part where you don't have to smell any worse than what you already smell like.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm not saying like you're stopping yourself from stinking. If you do stink that bad, it's like shower.
That's
a little more
medical.
often.
No,
Oh,
that's
shower
medical,
the night
for
before.
sure.
I feel like a lot of people don't do that. It's like at times you have a date and it's like you may shower in the morning before you start your day, but you slept in this shit and then you expect to shower for 10, 15 minutes and then it's gone. But your body was just drenched in all of this shit for hours.
It's also a prep too. Like women, you know, Chance said earlier that you learned a lot of your hygiene from women.
Yeah, I love y'all deodorant, y'all colognes, y'all. Oh, any products for women that are hygienic, they work better. Facts. They do not give a fuck about men when it comes to this shit.
No.
Deodorant, sprays, this, that.
Absolutely.
Get it.
Absolutely. And for me, smelling good is like it's almost like getting a facial, right? Like there's processes, there's steps, not that kind of facial.
I know, but we hold that talk.
I can never say that. I feel like I'm an esthetician, guys, okay, on top of everything else I do. But every time I say facial around men, they're like,
I'd be a little bit more mature about it, but we just came from a conversation about speaking about men down there. Like, what am I supposed to now think? Like, it doesn't matter. You don't want a face from a man that stinks.
Ooh.
You want to enjoy that shit. Let your face be free.
I'm gonna be real with you. You probably would never even get the chance to see my panties off if you stink. Like, cause I'm gonna know respectfully. There's no way. Like, that would have to be like a first couple of hours. Like, okay, that's crazy. I wouldn't even give it to you like that. But like, there's like steps. So like, being in the shower, you have to be intentional. Like, if you're gonna be in the shower, what are you really doing? Are you really just gonna wash with a bar of soap? Like, I do sugar scrubs. You know what I'm saying? To exfoliate.
They're nice.
Yeah, and they smell amazing. So you're already kind of scrubbing your pores of any dirt, but also like leaving that smell on you. Then you do the lotion, you do the oils. Oils are really good. Like, if you put oils and then deodorant on your underarms, elite. Do some lavender.
Body oils are clutch as
They
shit.
are. And they last sometimes even more. That's why if you get perfumes or colognes that are oil based, they last way longer.
I actually have one of those.
They're amazing. You will smell it on your blankets for days. Like,
body oil, I will
yes.
say for people, like, this is just like, because she brought up, I realized I actually forgot to say this. I have a body oil thing where it's kind of like, it's probably like this big, it's a little thin and shit. But one, I use it because it makes me look great in the fucking mirror. You know, once I'm getting that low, you're like a little shiny and shit. And you're like, oh, hold on, good. But it's like, I think the best part about the body oil is like I said, right? If you are somebody who sweats, wherever your body sweats, and maybe things really are different for men and women sometimes or shit like that. But if you are a man and you're gonna sweat, and you do sweat because you might be a little more active, shit like this, whatever it is, wherever you are sweating in your body, there should be something there that smells good already. Because if not, the only thing you will smell there is sweat.
Yeah.
Even if your body odor, I generally like my natural body odor. I think I smell great. And most women I tend to have been with, it's the exact same shit. The whole, I want to be in your skin, I want to be in your armpit, like shit like that. Like, that's something I deal with. But I'm one of those people, like, I love cuddles, like touchy shit. When I'm with my shorty, like, the fuck you mean you want to be away from me? Like, I don't want you bothering me, but you don't want to cuddle? Bitch, give me your toe. Give me put your leg on top of mine.
not the toe.
Like, I need something. Like I need our legs touching, like.
So you're one of those where you're just like, you got a pinky and it's just like touching her. Oh, you're so cute. Ladies, he's single. That's adorable.
I'm not looking for any.
Oh wait, he's not single. Are you? Shit, my bad. I'm all advertising you. Oh, okay.
But I'm not.
Oh, damn. Okay, my bad.
None of y'all.
He's not a prostitute. I don't know why I just sold you off like that to the. My bad.
Hey man, if y'all need relationships, slow. But
if you're trying to slurp them up, ladies.
Only if you're being recorded though. That's it. I'm not saying that like, oh, it's some weird shit. Okay, this is a part where this is gonna drop this city, right? Add the OnlyFans and shit like that.
Oh
yeah. See, people think it's like I just be advertising everything I do. I really don't.
Spicy tamale.
Yeah.
This just turned into like no jumper real quick. Shout out Adam 22.
Yeah, I have only. Yeah.
Yeah.